Hi everyone, it's Ty and
Liz.
Alright,
Hello.
we're here to talk to you about, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 3 and the...
Zack Snyder Justice League, because we finally got you to watch it yesterday.
Yes, we wanted to do this episode, this stream, or this podcast, or whatever this is called, after I've seen the Snyder Cut, and just a busy life. Life has been busy. Yeah. So it's hard to carve out 4 uninterrupted hours for this movie. Mm-hmm. So, but
yeah, it's a struggle, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
It was worth it. Definitely worth it.
All right, so spoiler alert ahead.
Yes.
So we literally just finished watching episode 3 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
And your first reaction, so if you didn't see the episode, you might want to check it out, but like right at the end there, they had Ayo, I think that's how it's pronounced.
Ayo?
Yeah, she was I think she was like Black Panther's love interest in the Black Panther movies. Like she shows up right at the end.
Yeah.
Like you initially thought it was Okoye, but
I thought it was
not.
Okoye. I thought it was her coming back because we really don't know what's going on with the Black Panther cast, like where their timeline is. Or at least I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they greenlit a second film, but with Chadwick Boseman passing away, they don't want to recast. They're in a really gray area right now. But so anyway,
yeah. I do want to say before we get too far into it, I am going into these shows like the Marvel stuff and like the Zack Snyder Cut as someone who really who'd never read any of the comics. So, like I know unlike you've read the comics, you're like, I feel like you're one of those hardcore fans. I'm along for a good time. Like I'm there for like Chris Evans, amazing. Like I'm gonna give my opinions and my reactions and reviews as someone who's just watched the movies and doesn't have a lot of knowledge on the comics. I rely on you a lot for like the backstories. Like, hey, are we supposed to know who this is, or is this an important detail?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I haven't read the comics in a while, but basically what I'll do is, I have all the social media follows on all of the accounts, so I'm just like nerding out over here. It's just like, okay, well, looks like, this person was cast. Oh, this scene was actually like blah 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 blah. It was we can get into that later, but so I'm really interested to see where this is going.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I guess, do you want to recap the episode?
All right, like I said, I feel like we should have wrote notes on the episode.
Yeah, this is our first time.
This is our first, it's like a first reaction, like we just finished watching it.
So at the start of the episode, we learn about the GCP,
which
like
stands for, what, growth?
I don't know, it was like
production
it
or
was basically
like
relocating services or whatever for like everyone who like came back. It's like, oh yeah, well, what do we do? And
okay, hold on. It was for people who came back from the blip.
Yeah, for people who came back from the blip. So
they can go to this place to get resources, basically. Like, you've been gone for 5 years. You don't, things are different. We're here to help you out.
Yeah, it kind of felt like it was like a vets program for half the planet.
Okay.
Vets get back from overseas and all this, and then it's like, oh, it's all different.
Gotcha.
It's like you're in a different world.
It was like a therapy type of place. Like people go in there to like talk about what happened. Like, I've been gone for 5 years. Family might have not blipped out with me, and all of a sudden they've moved on, or I don't know. I got that type of vibe of like it's a therapy type of vibe.
Feltless # Chris Evans.
Okay,
that had me too in that next scene where like as we see John Walker come out and then just harass that guy. That was
which one?
Because they went and like raided that building, And then, I don't know, they were speaking a different language. I don't know what language it was, but basically, like, they threw the guy up against the wall, and then he had his friend translate, and then the dude spit on him, he's like, do you know who I am?
Okay,
yes, just like he's trying to be Captain America, and he's just not.
I was like, I was lost there for a second. It's, the scene where, what's his name? New Captain America. I don't even want to...
John Walker.
John Walker. I don't even want to bother learning his name. I miss you, Chris Evans.
Yo, John. Like, chill out, dude. Okay. John, you are not a Chris.
No, he is not a Chris
or
at
you're
all.
Steve, actually. But, yeah, you know.
Hashtag we miss Steve.
Yes.
It was... They raided the place where these people have hid or helped... what's her name? The leader of
I don't know. So someone put it in chat. We'll figure it out later. We all know who we're talking about.
We're basically
the red-haired
the red-haired girl.
Yeah.
I'm missing her name right now, but
Dahlia.
Was
this
Natalia?
No,
that's not Natalia.
It's whatever. We'll go on.
But yeah, where John Walker was like, "Do you know who I am?" As if, like, because he has on the suit, like, you know, the Captain America suit, like, everyone should know who I am. Everyone should not bow down to me, but, like, should give me the same respect as they did Steve Rogers. Which I'm just like...
He didn't earn that.
He hasn't earned it. And I know we're starting on episode 3, but as soon as... Okay, I'll just say, when John Walker first came into this series... they first showed his face at the end of, was it episode 2? Mm-hmm.
No, episode 1.
Was it
they
episode
showed his
1?
face at the end of episode 1.
They showed his face, with him in, like, with the shield and Captain America's
Walmart version of Captain America. I like that one, Rita.
That's good.
I like that one.
It is really good. It is really that's.
It was the Walmart version.
It was
it's
like Steve Rogers is the guy that she doesn't tell you about, the guy that she's into versus the guy that
she tells you not to worry about.
Yeah.
You versus the guy who tells you not to worry about. Yeah. We got that meme.
But as soon as I saw John Walker get on screen, I wanted to throw everything at the at the TV. I was so upset, and I was like, the disrespect, the audacity that this guy has. And it seemed like this Outlash scene where I was like, you're okay, so you're definitely not Steve Rogers, and it's almost like I felt that was almost disrespecting.
Yeah.
Disrespecting to the character.
Yeah.
It was like he didn't lose his cool like that, or I don't know.
Yeah, at this point in the series, I'm like, who's the good guy here?
Yeah.
Because, like, in that scene, like, we kind of know John Walker. There's something going on behind the scenes that we don't really know about. I mean, like, we go from, like, the GCP being portrayed as, like, these really good people, but then, like, they were, like, literally just raiding this place, and John Walker's got some issues. But I think that's separate from, like, I think there's, like, a government conspiracy going on in the background, especially when you get to that, like, scene later in the episode with Nagel, where it's like the CIA hired him to recreate the super soldier serum.
Yeah.
Can't say that 5 times fast. But where they hired him to do that, and who knows what's going on with them, but they have something going on. I mean, like, they're trying to do something and they're trying to hide it and cover it up. I don't know what's going on with that, but the thing is I think this is, like, I mean, in that scene, it was like, well, who's the good guy? Like, am I rooting for this other guy who's, like, I don't know what he's doing. He's on a computer. Like,
gotcha. Yeah.
Is he the good guy? I mean, like, even when they break Zemo out, I mean, we know Zemo's a bad guy, but, like, he at least has these lines where it's like, all right, we know super soldiers are bad.
Yes.
And even this red-haired person, I mean, we can see that her, like, she's not afraid to kill, but it also doesn't seem like she has the worst of intent. We don't really know what's going on.
No, she had this line before where she was like, she said, we got a glimpse of what it could have been. And they're trying to get back to that. And she mentioned something in this episode where, I don't know what type of life she had during the blip, during the 5 years. And when people returned, she said, like, well, they just threw us out on the street. So to her, people coming back, like, really, like, negatively impacted her life. So in her eyes, in her perspective, she's just trying to just trying to get back to, not maybe get back to what she was living in before, but just bettering her life of what it is now.
Yeah. Well, I would also think on the flip side of this, I mean, like, during the blip, like, if you're a parent and you lost a kid, like, you're probably more likely to, like, you know, like, everyone's going through this. It's like, all right, well, now you're going to go to the orphanage, you're going to take someone in, blah, 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 blah. Oh. It could be something like that, where it's like, she could have been adopted, and then all of a sudden, like, the kid shows up, and it's like, can't take care of him, whatever, like, off on the streets. But, like, I mean, we look at these camps that all these, like, people who, like, blip back into existence are in, and they're not good. Yeah. They're very low down. Like, they're not being run by good people. I mean, and that's where I'm kind of at. It's like, I think we're going to deal with one of those situations where it's like, we have this very, like, gray area where it's like, is she a villain? Is she not the villain? And I've seen a little bit of stuff online where I think that, like, in the comics, at some point, she takes the Captain America shield or whatever. I mean,
anyone but John Walker.
Yeah, well, John Walker, I think we'll probably see more of him after this series. Okay. I don't think he's gonna, like, just be put to rest. I think that and this is kind of what I'm hoping for, is, like, you know, by the end of the series, you know, we clearly establish, like, you know, Falcon is taking the mantle of Captain America. And okay. I think that John Walker in the comics becomes U.S. agent, and I think he's gonna have that transition as well. But basically, this character, I think, is gonna have this almost, like, I don't know. Basically, he's gonna be like he's gonna be basically openly the fake Captain America, whatever. They may not call him U.S. agent. They may still call him Captain America, but, like, I think it's going to be, like, one of those, like, knockoff brand Captain Americas where it's, like, they're going to, like, the government wants you to believe this is Captain America because he's someone they have their thumb under. Yeah, I mean, like, for now. He's all tied in strings with the army and with all the government and all this BS. I mean, Captain America essentially answered to no one. I mean, and that was a big deal. I mean, you look at that in Winter Soldier. You look at that in Civil War. I mean, he's on his own. He didn't
sign the Sokovia Accords.
Exactly.
He was on the run. He said, "Fuck the government. Ain't got no strings on me."
Yeah. So I think the government having a Captain America under their nose isn't just like a, you know, it's a strength in terms of, like, oh, we have a super soldier on our team, but it's also like he's a symbol. If we have him, people are gonna blindly support Captain America. You know, you can do a lot more damage with a symbol than you can a single man.
Yeah.
So, unless we see something where we see, like, you know, Sam or Bucky just, like, openly, publicly, like, destroy his character, I think we're probably going to see something like that.
Okay.
Where they try to, like, they're going to openly fight for that title, and it's going to be the people to choose.
We'll see. I do want to move on to, what's her name? Shannon. Shannon reappeared.
Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sharon Carter reappeared in this episode, and I was so excited to see her. When is the last time that we saw her in the Marvel universe?
It was Captain America: Civil War. Same time we saw Zemo last.
Okay,
as well.
So we had last seen her stealing Captain's armor and Sam's wings, and basically, like, giving them back, like, their stuff. Like, hey, I'm on your side. Here's your stuff. Do what you gotta do, basically. And we just never see her again, right?
Yeah, she kind of fades out.
Yeah. Okay, so I was really excited to see her.
Yeah.
And it seemed throughout the episode, she had a lot of, I think she had a lot of badass moments. She obviously had picked up skills living in wherever she's living in right now. Not the United States.
Madripoor. That was the name of the place.
Okay, because she is just kicking ass to all these bounty hunters. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is not the same Sharon. This is not Sharon?
Is it? Well, I mean, I thought she was pretty badass in the other one.
She is, like, but it was like, I just didn't see that physical, like, her physically, like, getting down, where I was just like, whoa. I liked her that we got more of her. It is troubling, though, towards the end of when we lose her again, she helps Bucky, Sam, and Zemo get away, right? But she gets in the car with this unknown person, and with this unknown, like, it's as if like she had a ride waiting for her, or she somehow called for backup, or something.
She's got
like,
connection.
She's got connection, but it's like, I don't know, that scene, how it was portrayed, I felt like, oh, I don't know if she has a hidden agenda. I really hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't turn to be like someone where we think that she's a good guy and turns out to be not.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
The way they kind of ended it was just like, it felt like it was bookended, where it was like, they're like, all right, well, this is all you're going to see of her this season. But it's like, I don't know about you, but I would love to see more. I would love to see more Sharon Carter.
I would love to see more. I really like her right now, but I'm scared of what she could become. Like, Mom, pick me up. I'm scared. Like, oh my God. Like, I don't want Marvel to take her character and turn into a bad guy. Like, I was kind of rooting for her when we first saw her character as it was a potential love interest for Steve Rogers, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. It was kind of weird because she's Peggy's Carter's.
She's like her niece.
Her niece.
It's like.
And Steve, and it's like I like so it'd be your aunt. It would be. It
was like I was a love interest to your aunt. Your aunt's too old now. I'm gonna go for the niece.
That's like, kind of weird, but I was like, it could work, but.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. I hope she comes back. I hope she doesn't turn evil. I hope she doesn't to be like a double agent or type of thing where she's just like, Sam's like, I got you your pardon. You can come back to the United States. And she's like, fuck your pardon. Like, no, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. She's got this art deal going on the side too. All right, comment from Rita. Cap kissed her the last time we saw her, and then he chose to go live his true life with her aunt. Yes. Yep. I mean, that's pretty much what he did. But I mean, like, I think that was a very awkward decision that they made. And
I was kind of rooting for it. Maybe I was just rooting
for Sharon and Cap.
I think, or maybe I think it was more. I was rooting for Steve to have a happy ending because like the way he left his like movie, Captain America movie, was just so sad. It hurts my heart every time I see it. Every time I watch the ending, where I'm just like, Sam would dance for me, and she's like, he never got to go dancing with her. But I'm like, maybe he can kind of do that now with her niece.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it was like, I could go for it. I don't know. It's Steve Rogers. Like, at least he kept it in the family.
It's Chris Evans. Like, who's going to say no to Chris Evans?
I know I wouldn't. So. I'm sorry. But, okay, but
I mean, in the comics, that's a legitimate relationship between, Sharon and Steve. I think, and I don't know if during the writing of that movie, if they had like planned for, to have that the ending scene in Endgame where Steve went back in time, whatever, and then like was with Peggy. I don't know if that was planned out. And even as like a person, like if he was like, I think if he continued living in the present day, that relationship would have been legitimate. Like I think that would have been like an actual thing.
Steve and Sharon.
Steve and Sharon, correct. Okay. Yeah. But
well,
anyway, I don't think after what we saw, she don't need no man. She really don't need no man.
Don't need no man.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't watched the episode, go watch it. She really don't need no man.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah. Zemo returning too. Like
Zemo returning.
I mean, that guy's got some good argument. I mean, like the thing is like he's kind of in that same boat where he's like, I don't like the new He doesn't like the new Captain America, whether he says it explicitly or not. But it's just like
he doesn't like him.
Everyone knows it's like I mean, it's that like symbol problem again. He brought it up like on the plane ride. It was just like, it's like you basically when something becomes a symbol, you forget the person behind it, and the person behind it has flaws.
Yeah.
And he brings that up, and like that's something that like Sam felt very strongly. I think
strongly about it.
Yeah, I think it was one of the reasons he didn't take the mantle to begin with. He was like, I'm not perfect. Like this symbol means something so much more, and I'm not, like I have my flaws. He knows that, but so that's why he's like, I need to put it down, put it to rest. Like no one is like can live up to that.
Yeah.
But Steve had his flaws. I mean, we do that. I mean, like, the symbol, but the symbol they built him up to be, I mean, symbols are symbols.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Zemo. I still have my reservations, just because I guess what he is, like, just his character in Winter Soldier, right? What he did to Bucky.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for his character. I did think that he was gonna double cross him this season, or this episode. Like, I was like, wow, he didn't even last one episode where he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna help you guys. Just kidding. No, F you guys, I'm leaving. But he ended up pulling around. So
yeah,
we'll just see for how long. I don't know. I'm hopeful for his character, but I'm still kind of, I don't trust it.
I'm kind of with you there. There's a few times where it's like all of a sudden he disappears, and I'm like, is he running? Like, is he trying to escape? Like, okay. But he came back every single one of those times.
Especially during the scene where they were interrogating the doctor that was recreating the super serum. Dr. Nagel. Zemo just kind of like disappears to the back in the lab, and he finds a gun, and he like puts it behind his back, and it's like, oh god, here we go. Who has the gun? Bucky or Sam? Bucky has the gun pointed to Dr. Nagel, and I'm like, oh, here we go. What's his face? Zemo's gonna threaten Bucky, so like, no, we're gonna get this serum, and Zemo's gonna get it for himself. But he didn't.
I mean, it was. I don't know. I the way that scene went down, because it was Zemo who shot Nagel. Right? Or was that Bucky?
Yeah, no, it was Zemo. It was
Zemo. I was thinking about this. It's like, they can't let him live. Like, they can't let the doctor live. I mean, like, he knows, because he knows how to make the serum. And the whole point of this is just, like, get the, like, because they don't want the serum recreated.
Okay.
Like,
I didn't know that. So I just thought it was Zemo being, like, a jerk. And it was like, bang. And I was like, well, why'd you do that?
Well, he knows how to recreate the serum.
That's fair.
And it's like, well, we don't, like, I mean, the whole point of this is, like, you have a bunch of rogue super soldiers running around.
Okay.
And it's, like, I mean, they could do untold amounts of damage, which, you know, in a lot of arguments, they kind of are, really. But, I mean, like, I was like, what are they going to do with him? Are they going to lock him up? Well, the CIA already loves him. And if he knows how to recreate the super soldier serum, I mean, like, now you got the U.S. with an army of super soldiers, and that's not John Walker is a testament to why you don't want that.
We know anything about the United States. Bad idea.
If they can weaponize it, they will.
So, okay, who else? Anything else we wanted to say about the episode? Anything?
They keep hinting to Power Broker, and I don't.
Power Broker, is that supposed to be a character?
Yeah, it's a character. Yeah, like, guys.
Hey.
Power Broker character confirmed. I don't know who it is.
Okay.
I don't know, but it's a baddie.
Okay, because
it's a baddie.
A baddie.
Yeah, I think we have to see. Well, I think we're gonna see it because, I mean, this red-haired girl is being chased by Power Broker now.
Power Broker. Okay.
Because Nagel is now dead.
He's now dead.
So he has no way of getting a super soldier serum. And she's the one who has the last of it. So, I mean, that was the whole deal at the end. So now everyone's going to be chasing this red-haired woman.
Okay.
And I think next episode we're going to see a bit more backstory on her. If I had to take a guess, I think we're going to see a bit more backstory on her. Because now everyone's trying to hunt her.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see who the heck she, like, where she come from and why is she doing the things she's doing more specifically.
Yeah, we just see actual terrorism from her. So it's hard to sympathize. Sympathize.
Hey-o. We went to school.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Okay.
Still are.
We still are. I didn't know Power Broker?
Power Broker?
Power Broker was a character. Like it's a good thing that you have this knowledge because I don't. And I'm like, they're talking about Power Broker, and I'm like, are they talking about the government? Like, is that what they're calling the government of wherever they are?
Apparently, there's been hints to him in, like, the end credits where they, like, flashed between stuff. Like, there was, like, a graffiti of Power Brokers watching or whatever.
Okay.
So, I don't know what role he's going to... I mean, we can obviously see that, like, he kind of runs Madripoor. but like I don't know what his deal is right now. I mean, he obviously has interest in the super soldier serum, but like I don't know beyond that, like what his character is going to be like, because I mean we've seen a lot of complex characters. I don't think we're going to have a simple big tough mean like just show up and be like, I want to crush you. Like,
I want to crush you. I want to have all the power.
As you said, I have the power and I'm going to break it.
Where's that from? What is that from?
What?
That thing you just said.
I don't know.
It's gonna come to me later.
Sure. Okay.
Anything else?
I don't know. Well, okay. What about predictions? So I think in the next episode we're gonna see more of this red hair girl. I think we're gonna get more of a backstory to her.
Okay.
I think that's what's gonna be the focus of the next episode.
That's fair. Like you say, what you said. There's 6 episodes. 6 episodes in the season, and we
just finished episode 3.
Episode 3, so we're halfway. So we kind of should be getting answers soon. Okay. Predictions. I don't want it. It's a prediction that I don't want to come true. I think Sharon's gonna end up being some sort of a bad guy. Not the full bad guy, but maybe it's just my ignorance of I don't know the comics, or I don't know how everybody's story is supposed to be played out. I don't know. I love seeing her back, but I don't trust her completely yet.
You think she's secretly a bad guy?
I think she secretly has her own agenda. That she's been basically exiled from the United States for how long? And it's like she was explaining to Sam and Bucky that she basically gave the guys their equipment back after it being taken away, and so she was on the run. Avengers didn't have her back afterwards, and Sam is like, we were on the I was on the run, so I get how you meet. I get what you're saying. And she's like, no, you were on the run. I am on the run. There's a difference here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, she has like, it sounded like she had some bitterness holding on, like she's holding on to something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's really all I got.
So you think she's gonna turn?
I think
she's gonna be a baddie, even though you don't want her to.
Like a baddie. With a fatty? I'm kidding.
Baddie with a fatty? Oh my god.
I had to.
Alright, everyone put that in chat. Can we get a hashtag baddie with a fatty in chat?
Baddie with the fatty. I feel like this is inevitable. Inevitable? Inevitable. That Sam and Bucky's friendship is they're just gonna be the best of bros after this.
Best of friends.
Best of friends. As Tom Holland once said, best of friends, best of friends. I mean, I hope so. Yeah. Because it just seems like they're working together because they know each other. And they have this connection through Steve. And it's like, if they didn't need each other, then they would not even acknowledge each other. It's kind of, I want them to come together. Yeah. I think they're gonna have more. I think we've seen it. I think they have more of a brother relationship than they do like anything else. It's like, well, no, I'm not saying that they're gonna like be in love. Yeah. No. I mean, they're bros. I mean, like, they hate each other and they love each other too. I mean, like, that's kind of the deal. It's kind of like your family. You can't pick them, but so you're kind of stuck with them. It's the same deal with them. Like, they didn't pick each other, but they have each other now. Okay. Anything else? Do we want to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League now? Oh, before we get on to that. Okay. I know it wasn't brought up at all this episode, but because we just totally missed episode 1 and 2, I do want to talk about Bucky going to therapy. Like, Bucky's getting therapy, guys. Yeah. Like, holy shit, the Winter Soldier's getting therapy. Is that the normalized therapy, guys? Yeah. We love that. I don't think we've seen that in any MCU thing. No. Prior. So this is like the first time that we've kind of like seen something like that. Yeah. And I really like the therapist that Bucky has. That she just kind of knows how to tug and pull and poke in ways that it gets through to him. He may not emote it, but I think it's getting through to him. Yeah. And if any character should be getting therapy, I think it's Bucky. Yeah. I mean, he's been through a lot. Dude has been through a lot. I think just like having
someone like of that, like from like a higher standpoint of just like having a character who has that much meaning to a lot of people, like go through like therapy is very empowering for a lot of people too. And I think it does a really good job of like normalizing that as well. So we like to see that. We like to see that. Yeah.
I like that. I just wanted to say I love that they're doing that. Love putting that into it doesn't seem like he loves going to therapy, but he's going to it.
Yeah.
But he's going to it.
Yeah.
So I like that. I also like that they're doing the whole we saw it a lot last episode with the racial injustice that's going on. They spoke heavily about that last episode. Maybe we should just do a whole separate podcast for this because I could go into that.
Oh yeah, we could definitely go into that. I think
I'm just like I think Marvel. I know what you're doing, and
I think episode 4 we're probably gonna see a lot of the backstory of this red-haired woman.
Okay.
And I think episode 5 we're gonna start seeing like what the government's covering up. And I think with that we're gonna learn more about this Isaiah person, aka Black Captain America.
Black Captain America.
And I think we're gonna learn a bit more about his backstory, and I think that's when we can touch upon it. Like I think there's a larger story going on here that we just don't see. I mean, that's intentional by the writers. I mean, the writers, you know, if you want to write a good show, you don't give us all the answers. You just give us the hints here and there, and then it makes, when we get the answers, that much more satisfying. But, yeah, I definitely think that there's, like, a lot of that going on, and I think it's going to be addressed, like, more directly.
Okay. Well, then maybe we'll touch upon it more in future episodes. Then.
Yeah. We have this channel. We do a lot. We can do a lot of different things. I figure we can if we want to talk about that, we'll talk about that later. We can hit the stream button anytime. Anytime. So, but we also said we were going to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League because we watched that yesterday. Me for the third time, and then you for the first.
Mine was the first time. The theatrical cut, I will say I fell asleep. So I guess that speaks to what I thought about it. I fell asleep during the major fighting scene during the theatrical cut of this.
I don't remember when you fell asleep.
I don't know. But I fell asleep. And I just remember waking up and I'm like, did they win? Is it over yet? Can we get dinner?
I'm
can
hungry.
We eat? I need to pee.
I need to pee.
I really enjoyed the Zack Snyder cut a lot more than I thought. It was like I really liked it. Like
I
didn't fall asleep, or at least I didn't fall asleep because I thought it was putting me to sleep. I just had a long day. I snoozed.
Well, you didn't miss much. I mean,
I didn't miss much.
Like I noticed when you were falling asleep really quickly, and then we paused it. And we're like, all right, we're gonna take an hour break or whatever, and then we came back to it and watched the last hour of the film. But
I really enjoyed like I was telling you yesterday. The amount, the importance and focus that they put on Cyborg, in the snack.
The snack. We can just call it the Snyder cut.
The Snyder cut.
Yeah.
The focus that they put on Cyborg. Oh my
Cyborg.
God, I can't speak. I speak 2 languages, guys.
Victor Stone.
That's
also his name. You can call him whatever you want. Whatever doesn't make you slur your words.
I love that they made him almost. It felt very. He was a protagonist in I know it's the Justice League, right? It's all of them. But it felt like he played a very important role that they completely missed in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
I almost was like, well, in the theatrical cut, Cyborg almost seemed like he's some bitter guy who's being dragged by his teeth, to be put on this team, and he doesn't want to do it, and he's just it felt like very whiny to me.
It was like one of those basic character arc models where it was like, don't want to do it. Fine, sure, I'll go and do it. He
don't
had no
like it. I
depth.
hate my life. I hate my dad. Fine, I'll join you guys.
Yeah.
But in the Snyder cut, you get for someone who doesn't know a whole lot about his background, and this is me getting to know him. Like, the only other cyborg I know is from Teen Titans. And
Teen Titans Go, yeah.
Teen Titans Go in, like, the early 2000s.
Oh, that'd be, just normal Teen Titans.
The normal one, the good one.
Yes. One. Better than Go, by far.
Yeah, but I love that they showed the scenes where he was playing football and his relationship with his mom. Did we see his mom in the theatrical cut?
Nope. His mom was completely cut from the theatrical cut. Like, there was none of the football scenes or any of that.
And I just, like, oh my god, how it was shot. Oh my god, it felt so touching and it felt beautiful. Where I'm just like, I get you now. Whereas, like, after I was like, I get you. I get why you're angry. And then you could see the character development as the movie goes on and how he's almost wanting to be part of this team, and he kind of knows his worth too. He knows his worth. He knows that he has a lot of information and he can be useful. So I loved seeing that character blossom in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like, and you see, like, some of his motivations to the team. It's like, he still loved his dad. Like, he hated his dad for a while.
Like, Dad,
but it's like, he's still his dad at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, like, his whole thing with, like, joining the team is just, like, he could join them. He could help out. But he's just, like, trapped in his, like, bubble. And then when his dad gets captured by the bad guys. So that's what kind of prompts him to join the team.
Yes.
And he does a lot of opening up. But, I mean, he has a tragic arc, but I mean, like, at the
Very
end of
tragic.
it, you kind of see him, and he's like, it's not like, yeah, sure, it's a tragic arc for him, but, like, he's striving. I mean, like, he's embracing, like, he knows all these bad things are happening, but he's, in response to all that, I mean, he's moving forward. I mean, he's not staying trapped in that bubble again. So, I mean, like, I love seeing that backstory, too. Because, I mean, like, none of that was in the theatrical.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you see the Silas Stone relationship. You see, like, you know, how the accident happened to begin with. Because you didn't see that at all. You see him learning to use his powers. You understand the depth of the powers that he has, too.
Yeah.
Like, the whole scene where he helps that, like, struggling woman. Who's just, like, that was also a really
Who raises
impactful
basically
scene.
her bank account, who raises the currency.
Right. I'll get in a chat from Angelina. Hello there. Hi, I'm the #1 Liz fan. Heart.
Oh my god.
Glad to be here.
Yes.
Glad to have you.
Oh my god. I know we're on the Zack Snyder Cut, but Ange just reminded me, we love Sebastian Stan. We stand the Stan. We stand Stan.
We
that's
stand the Stan.
We stand the Stan.
We stand by Stan.
We stand by Stan.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Hello, Active.
Hi,
How are
Active.
you doing? Nice to see you still here. We are reading chat, so if you guys have any questions at any point, just, you know, pop them in. We will respond, and we will give you a shout-out, because we love you all.
We appreciate you. Active
right.
Gamer 3000, almost like we love you 3000. Oh!
Easter
Okay.
eggs. All right, back to the
Snyder Cut.
All right. The other character I thought had a huge glow-up was the Flash. Like, I remember finding him very irritating.
Like, almost annoying?
In the theatrical cut.
Like, annoying kid?
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll get to your comment in a second, Active. We saw it pop up. All right. But like, we see it. He's, like, annoying. I mean, he's meant to be a comedic relief. But, like, he just doesn't... There's nothing, like, tangible to grasp onto with the character. It's like, okay, dude's fast. Whatever. But then he's like awkward too. I mean, like in the theatrical cut, he like in the fight sequence, he's like, "How do I do this? Like, all I do is do this." And he's like, and then Batman's like, "Save one person," and then he's like, "That's not." I'm so glad that's not in there.
It was very treating him like a little kid.
Yeah, and then they have like an awkward in the theatrical cut. They had like an awkward like scene where it's like, oh, he trips and he falls down. I mean, that's in the Snyder Cut too, where he trips and falls down, whatever, after getting Diana her sword. But then like. They have, like, a scene in the theatrical cut where he, like, zips away, falls on top of Wonder Woman. His head's, like, in Wonder Woman's boobs.
Okay.
And then he, like, zips away, and it's, like, it's supposed to be, like, funny. I'm so glad that wasn't this thing. That was just, like, why? It was just such a forced, like, thing.
Yeah.
But, like, seeing, like, the backs... Like, the two scenes that get me with Flash in the Snyder Cut are the one where, like, him and Iris West like in the car crash. That was a beautifully constructed scene.
Iris West. I told you this before. If you're anything like me, who need very obvious explanations on who these characters are, I know the Flash as the CW from the CW show. So I know him as what is his name? Grant Gustin. But more importantly, I know Grant Gustin from Glee. I think he's Sebastian from the Warblers.
The Warblers!
The Warblers! Wow, shout out to the Warblers. We love them.
Hashtag Warblers.
Hashtag Warblers.
Hashtag not my new direction.
Shut up. No, we're not covering Glee this episode.
We'll do it later.
But I think of Flash, I think of the CW show, right? And I know because I've watched the CW show, if you have watched too, so this is not a spoiler, his love interest is Iris West.
Yeah, and that's obvious. It's hardly a spoiler either.
It's hardly a spoiler, but of course, it's like an ignorant, I don't know who these characters are supposed to be or who they were supposed to, like, their characters are, without giving them, like, name tags with me sometimes.
Well, yeah, they never, to your argument, it's like, they never explicitly said her name in there at all. Or
so
whatever.
The only reason you know
is basic casting information.
You, like, looked up casting information. Right? Basically.
Yeah, Les looked it up more like, hey, it popped up on my Facebook. Like, oh, cool, this person's...
I'm just like, what if I'm just watching the movie and I'm like, oh, cool, Flash saves this girl. And then he's like, wow, I thought he was just being a decent human being and he has a heart of gold. That's why he has given he's a superhero. That's why.
Yeah.
But now that I know that it's Iris West, you told me that it was Iris West. And I'm like, aha, okay. I know that there's going to be some type of relationship here, which kind of makes him, as he's catching her, as he's like catching her mid-air, he's like almost like fixes like her hair, or he's like almost grazes her face, and he's just kind of like admiring this woman who he doesn't know, he's just saving. He's just like it's no big deal, but it makes that moment so much more intimate.
Yeah, it was. West. Well, yeah. Activist saying that he watched The Flash on the CW. So it's a great show. It's a great show. Some of the other shows on there are pretty great as well, but we won't get into that.
Yeah.
So the other scene that really like drew me in the Snyder Cut with The Flash was the whole like time travel like scene.
Okay.
In the climax of the film where it's like the world basically gets blown up and then like he phases through it and then he like
heals himself.
Yeah, he uses his connection to the feed, not the feed force, the speed force. He to like speed heal himself, and then he basically runs time in reverse.
Yep.
To like save the day.
Yeah.
Basically, that scene is just
one
of my favorite scenes.
I had to double check with you where I was like, the cube unified, right? It's synchronized, and it basically just wiped everything out, right? Like, because we see...
Game over.
It's basically game over.
Yeah.
And it's basically endgame. All over. Rip. Because we see Barry running back in time to reverse time. And it's like everything, it now follows him being put back into place. Streets are being, like, paved again. Like, lights are coming back up. And you see, like, flesh going back onto, like, Superman and everybody else. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Does that mean that they were all basically vaporized? That was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't... Whoa. But Barry Allen, hey.
Yeah. I mean, hey, when you have the power to save the world, you gotta use it.
You gotta do it.
You gotta use it. I mean, I don't know. I also think that movie has a ton of, like, great, like, lines in it, too.
It does.
I was telling you about that,
yes.
where it's just, like... The Wonder Woman line, like Steppenwolf is like, the Amazon, save her for me, and then Diana's like, I belong to no one.
She belongs to no one.
Yeah, it's just like, and like, it's crazy to think that this, like, it speaks so well to like what's going on in our society today. And this was written in I mean, it was like the theatrical cut came out in 2017, and like. The only, like, reshot scenes, like, there's maybe, like, one or two throughout, but, like, the biggest, like, reshot scene was the whole nightmare sequence at the end. Like, all of this stuff was written and, like, filmed, like, in 2016, but prior to the theatrical cut's release. And it's like, I mean, like, you could say he was ahead of his time in that regard, but I think it perfectly, I think with all of the stuff that's been restored in this version of the film, it's truly empowering for, like, all these people of color, all of these, like, different minority people, like, with all these, like, 100%. Different minds like, now they have, like, more sustenance in the film, and I think it gives everything more depth and more impactful meaning to take away.
100%. Like, I loved seeing the representation. Like, another character that was completely cut from the theatrical cut was the Dr. Stone's doctor assistant.
Ryan Choi. Yep.
Ryan Choi, and we see a decent amount of him in the Snyder cut. And at the end, you know, Silas Stone, you know, because he's gone now, he kind of takes the place as, like, director, right?
Yeah.
As a director. So it's like we see another person of color, Pac. We see another person of color in a position of power. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I really liked his character. I mean, I know he's not a superhero, but...
Not a superhero yet.
Not a superhero yet. Why? Why? Because who is he supposed to be?
The Atom.
He's supposed to be the Atom.
I mean, he did say he specializes in nanotechnology, and that's his thing, as he says.
I know the Atom because...
the CW show with Brandon Routh.
Brandon Routh.
I don't know. That's probably not how you pronounce his last name. I'm sorry, Brandon. I doubt you're watching this.
No, he watches. He watches. I sent him the link.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
We're cool
We're
here.
cool.
Yeah.
But I really liked that. Ryan Choi.
Yep. Ryan Choi.
I'm just so bad with the character names.
No, that's fine.
Okay. What else? Mimosa. Momoa.
We call him Jason Mimosa because I mean, like, who doesn't like a drink every once in a while?
Yeah, Aquaman.
He likes a drink.
He likes a drink. I have not seen Aquaman yet. I have not seen it.
We can put that on the watch list because I've seen Aquaman once, but supposedly the movie follows Zack Snyder's version of the film, not the theatrical cut, and that's where it kind of picks up. I mean, at the end of the Snyder cut, we see is like, oh, I'm gonna go visit my dad, and you really see that. Well, because he's one of those more subtle characters in the film, but you see him sympathize with, like, Cyborg. He's like, dude just lost his dad.
Yeah, like, we're asking a lot of this guy to basically unite with the cubes, with the cubes, but he just lost his dad. Like, we see the human side come out.
Well,
right?
yeah. Well, and then you see him. He's like, all right, well, I think he kind of sees that, like, connection, and he's like, all right, I should probably go visit my dad. He's like seeing it, you know,
like,
all that happened.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. I didn't care. I don't know if this is. I don't know. I didn't care for Aquaman's character in the theatrical cut. It was just kind of seemed like he was kind of he knows he's got powers, or he's got, you know, abilities, and he's kind of like the jock. Gave me a jock kind of vibe of he didn't want to join the team at first, but it was kind of like, you're kind of a douchebag almost. Yeah.
Well, it kind of felt like, yeah, I mean, in this version of the film, he is similar to that, but, like, he stays true to his character through the whole way. He's, like, this guy who, like, puts off as if he doesn't care, but he really does. He does that, and you see that throughout the whole film. And you see him kind of grow a little bit, like, throughout that. Whereas in the theatrical cut, I remember this scene in the theatrical cut, that was not in the Snyder cut, where it's, like, I think they're going to the final battle, and then, like, apparently Aquaman starts spilling his heart out to everyone and blah 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 blah, because he's sitting on Wonder Woman's lasso of truth or whatever.
Oh my God.
And it was just like, okay, like, you really see it kind of break there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that wasn't in the Snyder cut. It didn't make sense. It wasn't his scene either. So, Angelina, who is y'all's favorite DC hero? I think we're on the same page.
Are we on the same
maybe.
page?
I think you're okay. I'm gonna guess
DC
yours, and
hero.
you can guess mine.
Oh God.
I think yours is probably the Flash.
Are we counting? Como se dice? What's his name? Oliver Green in this? Like
Oliver Queen.
Oliver.
He's a DC. No, he's a DC hero.
He's a DC
yeah,
hero?
He's the Green
I don't
Arrow.
know who yours could be.
Yeah, I think I'm split between two. I think yours is the Flash, and I think yours would only be Oliver Queen because it's Stephen Amell and you like how he looks.
Yeah, he's very good looking. I'm not gonna deny that.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to deny.
Who is yours? I'm not gonna. I'm gonna sit on
You'll wait until you have your guess in.
Who is yours? Tell it to me via brain.
Here, I'm gonna. You got it.
It's not Batman, is it? It's not Batman.
Okay, so I'm between Batman and the Flash. Those are like my two. Like,
oh wait, Batman was like a top contender.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, Batman's one of my favorite. Like.
Okay.
So yours is.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think about the DC heroes all that often.
I'm saying. What's your favorite?
Like I'm a Marvel girl at heart, so I really like think about that. But if I had,
you had to choose.
If I had to choose, am I gonna?
Oh, yours is Robin. Which one? Is it? You got Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Damian Wayne.
All the characters.
There's another one I can't think of right now. His alias ends up becoming Red Robin. What's his name?
I was gonna say I have not seen an actor a live action Robin. I've only seen animated versions of Robin.
Yeah.
Am I just not watching the Robin movies or
No, well,
are they not existing or what?
There's some like animated movies where you see more of those. More of the Robins. You see the Dick Grayson version of Robin, and there's like 2 live action Batman movies that happened back in the day. Like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't worry. You don't gotta worry about it.
I don't know.
Batman and Robin also is, if you never heard of it, it's the movie that invented bat nipples. His Batman, it was George Clooney's Batman suit had nipples on it. Yeah,
okay.
Costume designers making some stupid choices, but memorable ones. Lol, that was my guess for you, Kai. Mine is the Flash. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, Flash is good.
I think I am between the Flash and Arrow, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, does Felicity count?
I don't even know if she's in the comic, but
she's not in the comics?
She might not be. I don't know if she is, but I'd say that's pretty valid.
But I don't. Yeah.
You could.
Oliver is so annoying sometimes. He's so arrogant, but I don't know. I'll forgive him.
Yeah. Flash just
That's my toxic trait, I guess.
Flash just has like some of my favorite abilities. Like
he can run fast.
Yeah. Like
he's a fast runner.
He's got a lot of depth to his character too. Like and this is kind of where in the Flash movie that's scheduled to come out in November of next year, like it's going to be like the storyline they're going with is Flashpoint, which we saw 1 episode of in the CW show, and it's basically where he goes back in time to save his mom from dying, and then we see this alternate timeline kind of play out. And like in the comics, it was probably one of my favorite storylines that was written. It's just amazing. It's very beautiful, and it's kind of like one of those like stories where you kind of just have to like, people die and you kind of have to let that go.
Let it be.
You have to let them go.
You gotta let them go.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wanda.
Yeah,
WandaVision,
yeah. It's like it's actually like when you look at Flashpoint and what happened in WandaVision. I mean, like those things are exactly. I mean, they tell the same character stories where it's like you have to move on. Mm-hmm. You have to move forward. You can't live in the past. But yeah.
I've started, not that I had anything against Superman, but it was, how in school people always ask you, but or was it just me, or that you were just asked like, who's your favorite, Batman or Superman? Mm-hmm. No, Maybe.
So Batman versus Superman, like
that's always
it's always been like well, who would win, who's cooler, like I mean those were like the top two DC heroes.
I remember getting asked that, and I'm like, well, I don't know much about either, but I think Superman's overly hyped, so I'm a root for the underdog. I'm gonna go for Batman. And now that I've watched like the Batman movies and I've watched Justice League, I'm like, okay. I think I'm gonna go with Superman. Not that I have anything against Batman, and it's just Superman. I don't know. Superman won me over with the snack with the Snyder cut.
The snack cut.
The snack cut.
Because it was a treat.
It was a treat.
Yeah, I really hope we get more. Mm-hmm. Like. I've seen a lot of fans just being like, I want to see the Justice League 2 and 3. I want to see, like, the Batman movie that was canceled. Okay. Like, because there was a lot of plans, and people are just like, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I would love to see it. I think we've sent a very clear, like, I mean, the Snyder Cut has basically been the top performing, like, movie on HBO Max. Yes. It's gotten a ton of attention. It's brought in a ton of subscribers. Mm-hmm. It's like one of the, like, I mean, it's broken a lot of records. I'm not going to state them all or any of them because I'm not going to mislead or people or whatever. But, like, I think executives know this. From what I've heard, Warner Brothers doesn't want to work with Zack. They want to go in a different direction. They want to do films closer aligned to what Marvel does. And they don't want this serious superhero film, which is what Zack did. Yeah. And he did it really, really well. Like, I want to make that clear, but he did a really good job of it. But, like, after, like, Batman versus Superman, there was, like, the one, like, clinch pillar. Like, it was basically the one Martha moment kind of. I think that was what kind of made people, like, very critical of the film. Yeah. But, like, other than that, I mean, like, his films have been very, very good. And they also have had that serious tone. And they can balance that. Right now, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to copy Marvel, and I don't think they can win that game. I think they need to double down on what they have. And what they have is a very good, very serious tone to it.
It was a very serious movie. But it did great. Like, you don't have to follow what Marvel's like. Marvel's doing great on its own. Like, I get you want to let Marvel be Marvel, and it's like, why not brand yourself as something different but that works well? Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. There's the politics and everything underneath behind it, but bring back the Snyderverse. Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
It's good. Yeah, it was great. I mean. Also, like, the nightmare sequence with one of my other favorite moments.
Talk about that, because I had questions. I wasn't sure what that was. I was like, wait, I thought they had saved the day. What the hell is this?
Yeah. So, what the nightmare sequence was, and we had another one back in Batman versus Superman. We also had one with Cyborg earlier in the film, and essentially what this is a glimpse to this darker future. And it's basically this darker future where that hasn't happened yet. But basically, in the coming, what would happen in Justice League 2 is you're going to have Darkseid invade. And essentially what's going to happen is...
Darkseid. So Darkseid, the main...
The big bad.
The big bad guy that they were trying to prevent to come during the whole movie. Mm-hmm. He is coming to Earth to attack. Yeah, because... the Earth has the anti-life equation, which is what he's been searching for a long time. Mm-hmm.
And basically, essentially what happens is, we don't know the details, but essentially the Justice League loses. And something to do with that has to be the death of Lois Lane, which causes Superman to fall to the anti-life equation, which means Darkseid can control him. Okay. So
Superman basically hunts down whoever survives. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Which leaves who we saw Batman.
We have Batman, Flash, Cyborg, Mira. Deathstroke, and the Joker as well.
Joker was one, Deathstroke I could understand it, but Joker was the one what caught me so off guard, and I'm like, whoa, you're here, why? You're still very creepy looking.
Yeah. For some reason, this misfit band of survivors, I guess I would call it, they have to work together to undo what's going on. Mm-hmm. I think essentially what they're trying to do is, from what I've heard of interviews with Zack Snyder and whatnot on the internet, is basically in this alternate timeline, or in Justice League 2 and 3, you're going to see, Darkseid win, and then you're going to see more about what this nightmare future is. But then also, with that, you're going to also, basically the plot of this is they lose. And with these misfit ragtag bunch of heroes and villains, they basically they're formulating a plan to undo everything by sending Barry back in time to change the past to save the future, which is why you see him, like, Barry Allen pop up very briefly in Batman versus Superman saying Lois is the key.
Yeah, so okay.
But there, I mean, with that honestly, that nightmare sequence that we saw, probably my favorite interaction between Batman and the Joker that we've seen on film. Like, it was so deep and, like, raw. And I know a lot of people, like, when it was announced that the Snyder Cut was going to be rated R because Batman was going to say the F word, I know a lot of people on the internet, all of a sudden these might have been Warner Brothers people who were trying to sabotage the film, were just like, oh my gosh, he's going the wrong direction, blah, 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 and they were, like, shooting their guns up about it, like, getting all pissy about it. My gosh, that one, like, time where he uses the F word, I mean, that hit me, and it was just different. Like, I mean, it's like they're just throwing jabs at each other left and right, and it was like,
it was very intense.
Really, yeah.
Oh my god!
It was so good. They actually today they released an extended version of that scene. It's just like like there's an extra couple lines. It was actually in the original, like, Snyder Cut trailer. They had, like, one of the lines of the Joker. It's basically, he says, like, we live in a society where honor is, like, something. I forget what the exact line is. But, like, they had that. It wasn't in the final version of the film, but they released an alternate version of the Snyder Cut. It was a gray version, a black and white version of the film. Okay. They released that, and it actually had that extended scene, so you could see it. I think that was the only alteration between that and the other version of the film. Yeah. But basically, that's all. Like, he just says, like, that line in addition to it, and then, I mean, he's just like, who do you think screamed louder, the woman or the boy? Oh my goodness. Just, and then you have the Jared Leto Joker laugh, all that. Yeah. But I don't know, seeing those two on screen, I just want more. I want more. I mean, they're letting me down by not giving it to me. I mean, like, the whole I was gonna buy a subscription to HBO Max before I found out you had one. I was like, I will buy it just for the Snyder Cut. Like, I will go and do that.
It was very fair.
Yeah. Very fair. But I hope they do more. I'm gonna be real upset, and I think they know that if they make more, it's gonna do well because of the positive response we've seen so far. So cross our fingers that they wake up and they like money. Senses. They find out that they like money and they're gonna make more.
Yeah, with Zack in charge.
Yeah. Even if it's just an alternate timeline and Zack's doing his own thing and DCU wants to go somewhere else, let Zack have this thing. I want to see it. I want to see this nightmare future. I'm invested. I want to see it happen. Please.
I would like also to see it happen. I'm not as invested as you, but I would also like to see it happen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, is there anything else we want to talk about?
I don't think so.
All right.
Or at least, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't
all right.
think so.
All right, guys. Well, we thank you all for staying tuned. I know we had a lot of people hop on and ask us questions. We really appreciate that. If you could, like, subscribe to us That'd help us out a lot. I mean, this is our first stream, first video ever. So
I was nervous.
Yeah, you can say right now you were one of the first if you subscribe right now.
You were one of the first. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do
Just
it.
Do it.
Yeah, we'll be back again. Hopefully next weekend.
Yes. Hopefully
a similar time as well, and we'll be reacting to episode 4 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
And maybe we might have another stream another
here
time.
And there.
Yeah, we'll do some fun stuff.
It's really open. Yeah. So we'll see where this goes.
If there's anything that y'all want to see us talk about, we've watched Glee before. We're watching Grey's Anatomy. We got a lot of shows. We got a lot of content. We also don't got to talk about shows. We can just talk about the fact that we got a cat like 3 months ago.
We got a brand new cat. Like, it's a joint child.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
Committed.
And it's an indentured child.
Indentured. What?
That's not the right word. That's not the right word. But you get the point.
Love you too, Ange.
Yeah, we love you. So. All right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, right. I'm assuming as the more that we do this, we'll have, I don't know, more formal intros and formal outros. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we'll figure this out. But until next time.
Bye.